Okay, we have 33 people on right now, so we're going to go ahead and get started. If you don't know me, I'm Holly Webb. I'm a triple diamond on our team. I want to talk to you tonight a little bit about my story. A lot of people have been struggling with, I don't know, I guess with a lot of promotions happening. People are getting kind of discouraged if they're not promoting fast enough, if they're watching, teammates promote and they're struggling. So I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about that. First, though, I wanted to give everyone the most recent thermo update if you haven't seen it already. So basically, they had a shipment come in. They got caught up on, I guess, nobody's past the 4 to 6 week mark as of right now. They have a large shipment coming in 3 weeks. They're expecting that to take care of all of the back orders and everything. So we're getting there, guys. So as of right now, there's no customers beyond 4 to 6 weeks. So obviously that's amazing, and how amazing to have a product that is just so popular. We can't keep it, in stock. Okay, so I'm gonna start then by telling you a little bit about my story. I joined when I was 5 months pregnant. It was December 2016. Things were really slow for me to build. Like, I had signed a couple distributors, nothing was really happening. I was signing like a couple customers. Then we had a $9.99 kit deal, and I signed so many freaking distributors, and not a single one of them wanted to do anything. So, like, I had signed all these people. I was super excited. I was boxed in for Diamond. I was like, oh, finally, like, this is happening. And it didn't. Literally, like, complete crickets from everybody. It was really disappointing, but, like, I knew that I could do this. I knew that I could. So, basically, I rode out the storm. That summer was really slow for me. I think 1 month I didn't find a single customer. And I was working. I was working consistently. And then I'm pretty sure it was like the end of July or in August, things completely turned around for me. When we say that it takes like one person to change your business, that's what happened for me. I had somebody added to my team that just wanted to do this and decided that they were doing this and just ran with it. So from that point then, it was around September or October. So I joined in December. The following September, October, until I finally hit Ruby. And I remember when I joined seeing, like, they were running a promotion, like, oh, if you hit Ruby in your first, like, 30 days, you get $500, stuff like that. So it kind of made me feel like, oh, that's normal then. Like, people are hitting Ruby in their first 30 days. And here it's been, like, 8 or 9 months, for maybe 10 months. I don't know the exact amount, but, it really, I don't know. I kind of want to say, like, it made me feel like maybe I wasn't good at this. But the key was consistency, and it paid off in the hugest way. If you know my story, I hit Ruby around in like September or October. That, sorry, yes, if everyone can mute yourselves, please. That following February, then, I made my run for Emerald. I hit Emerald, and 24 hours later hit Diamond. So right there in that, like, short amount of time, I literally went from, like, executive to Diamond. Diamond is completely life-changing. I have to say, like, if you do anything, like, if you ever decide, like, oh, I'm going to give it a little more, I'm going to give it a little more, wait until you hit Diamond, and you will be like, wow, this is amazing. Diamond just opens up, like, a whole new world. So, yeah, from there, then, it was August again. I hit double diamond, and just last month then was able to promote to triple diamond. So, like, in the scheme of things, that might seem like a while. It would have been a little over 2 years. But think about it this way. If you started a job tomorrow, let's just say UPS. So you got a job at UPS tomorrow. What is the likelihood that you're going to go from, in 2 years making, I don't know, I should have done the math earlier, but literally like an insane raise, insane, like thousands and thousands of dollars a month for waiting it out, for just sticking with it and being consistent. It does pay off. Some people are going to join this company and they're going to take off, and that's amazing. Some people aren't, and it doesn't mean that you can't do this. It doesn't mean that you're not good at this. It doesn't mean that this isn't going to happen for you. Just stick it out. We all have our seasons, and honestly, you have to have a planning season. You have to. If you don't invest the time to build relationships and do your daily checklist, take care of all that kind of stuff, those are your seeds that you're planting. If you don't take that time, you're going to watch everyone else have a harvest who did take the time to do all those things. Something I had heard before, like, build your shelter in a season of peace. And, like, to me, that, like, meant a lot. Like, don't wait until all this stuff is happening to start working. You know what I mean? Like, start building your business and just being consistent. And when it happens and the harvest happens, you're going to be so glad that you did. Cammie, the daughter of Mark Pentecost, our CEO, she didn't sign a distributor for 6 months. She worked her business for 6 months until she signed her first distributor. So, like, please don't get discouraged. If you've been doing this for a month, you've been doing this for 2 months, and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm not signing distributors. Consistency is key. That being said, I'm going to turn things over to Samantha, who is our presidential diamond. She's amazing. She's a mass enroller. She just literally constantly signing customers, constantly signing distributors. You guys have to hear her story. Sam, are you ready?
Now you're going to jinx me. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So I'm just going to share probably like a 5-minute brief synopsis, because I did start out like a lot of you started. I started off really slow. I had no urgency. I didn't know what I was doing. I knew that I loved the products. I had faith in the company, and I had faith that I could do this. However, it just wasn't happening as fast as I wanted it to. So I was getting frustrated. There were people that joined after me that were promoting to Emerald and Diamond and Double Diamond. And I just felt like, what is wrong with me, and why can I not do this? Everyone's journey is completely different. There are people like Chelsea Ingram who are going to join this business and they're going to go diamond in 3 months. There are people like Samantha Bowers that are going to join, and it's going to take them 2 years to go diamond. So just a little recap of me. So when I joined, I was a full-time restaurant manager. I worked for Outback Steakhouse in Lancaster. A lot of you are familiar. Maybe you've seen me there, and that's why I look familiar. But I was a front of house manager working 65 hours a week. I started at 2 p.m. and I wasn't done until midnight, literally passing my husband at the door. He had a normal job. We had 3 kids. Our life sucked. We were fighting over money. Our relationship was strained. It was bad. It was really, really bad. It was to the point where we were questioning ourselves. We were questioning our marriage. Like, it was not a point that we wanted to be in. So I knew that something had to change. I had a girlfriend on my Facebook who was constantly posting about these bonuses she was earning. She earned $10,000 diamond bonus, and she was just a girl like me from Ephrata, Pennsylvania, who was doing all these amazing things. And I was like, if this chick can do this, I can do this. But I didn't reach out to her. I waited until 11 p.m. on March 31st, 2015 for her to send me that 5th message saying, girl, are you ready to do this? Until I finally said, you know what? I'm in. So I took $99 that I did not have at the time. I didn't pay my cell phone bill that month. And I said, let's just go for this. Either I'm going to belly flop or I'm going to take off. So I joined that night on March 31st. So this year will be 4 years. And it took me, my first paycheck, April 2015, you guys, was $50.25. That was my first paycheck with It Works. So I made about half back of what my kit cost me. It took me until June of 2015 to go Ruby. So 3 full months to go Ruby. And I missed the $1,000 Ruby bonus by a month. So I was crushed. I was like, if I'm not earning this first bonus, how am I ever going to earn any other bonuses? But you know what? It's not about the bonus. It's about that residual paycheck, that paycheck you're going to earn every single month. It's not about that Ruby bonus. So I kept going. And in August, 2 months later, I promoted to Emerald. I was making about $600-$700 a month. My initial goal was 150. So I was already above what I had wanted to make. I got comfortable. I stopped working my business. I stopped trying to grow. I stopped trying to find new people. I stopped trying to find new customers. I literally dropped rank the following month and went back down to Ruby. I kept dropping. I went down to executive by the end of the year in December, and I started to question whether this was really for me. I wanted to quit. I was done. I couldn't do it anymore. My husband literally had to kick my ass and tell me that you can do this and you're going to do this. So if it wasn't for him, I would not be here right now. So I thank him for all of it. But December, we were executive. 2 months later, I had built myself back up to Ruby. So February 2016, I was a Ruby again. The following month, I got back to Emerald. I got comfortable again. I dropped back down to Ruby in July. So a little bit over the summer. Summer is a little bit tougher. Went back down to Ruby. I stayed at Ruby until January 2017. The following month, we rented a conference on pay-per-view in Caitlin Snyder's basement, and I said, you know what? I'm either going to do this now or I'm never going to do it. So I was 2 years in, and I finally promoted to Diamond. You guys, 2 years it took me to get to Diamond. That's how slow I was doing this. The following month, I went double Diamond. I earned $68,000 in bonuses at that point alone. Sat at double Diamond until August. I dropped rank again because I got comfortable. And then February 2018, went back to double Diamond. Sat at that until August of 2018. So I never dropped rank from double Diamond, which I feel amazing about. Promoted to triple in August of 2018. And then as of this past month, February, is when we finally became a presidential team. So this took me 4 years, you guys. 4 years of roller coaster, up and down, back and forth, questioning whether I could do this, questioning myself. But the one thing that I never questioned was whether this business was going to provide for my family if I actually put in the time and put in the effort. That was the one thing that I knew wasn't going to change. So it's all in a matter of digging deep inside yourself and telling yourself that you can do this. There are going to be hard times. There are going to be distributors who join your team and never do a thing. There are going to be distributors who join your team, go to Emerald, and drop off the face of the earth. You are never going to promote to a rank with the distributors that you start this with. So your team 6 months from now is going to look completely different than your team right this moment. So don't get too comfortable. Everything changes constantly. Things are changing. We're always going to be growing and evolving. Things are always going to be different for you. It's just a matter of staying uncomfortable. It's that moment that you get complacent, that things just kind of stop moving. So also the thing that I wanted to say was don't get caught up in comparison. I was constantly getting stuck saying, so-and-so is doing this and so-and-so is doing that. I had to unfollow so many fellow distributors on Facebook because I just couldn't watch them anymore. I needed to watch myself, and I needed to watch myself grow. So if you're stuck in comparison and you are starting to feel complacent or left behind, stop focusing on those other people and focus on yourself and what you can do. So hopefully that helps you guys a little bit to show you that everybody's journey is going to be different. There's going to be Holly's, there's going to be Chelsea's, Caitlin's, Sam's. Everybody has a different story. Everyone has a different journey. And it is not a marathon or not a sprint, you guys. This is completely a marathon. So pace yourself.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I absolutely love that because I think a lot of people, and even when I started this journey with you, pretty sure you were Emerald at that point. I know things were so different back then, and I feel like a lot of the newer people who join and they're watching you like mass enroll, signing tons of customers, tons of distributors, but like that took time to build, and that
Girl, there was a time when a good month for me was signing 5 customers. Like that was a good month for me. Now a good month is 20 or 30, but 5 at one point. 1 distributor a month was a good time.
So definitely don't compare. Don't watch, what Sam's doing and say like, how is she signing 20 people? I only signed 5. Like Sam had a time when she was signing 5 customers and that was a good month. So basically, like the moral of this whole story is if things are not happening super fast for you, it does not mean that they're not going to happen for you. One of the biggest reasons that people say like, oh, network marketing doesn't work. It works, it doesn't work. it's because people join this company and they expect things to happen fast. And, we share those stories. When things happen fast, that's amazing. So, of course, everyone's sharing the story like, oh, that, one person joined and they shot up to diamond in their first month. Like, that's amazing, but that's not common. However, when you're consistent with this business, when you're consistent with this business and you literally just do your checklist and like Sam said, don't get comfortable. I think we've all made that mistake. We have these promotion months and we're working and you really just like keep your fire like completely lit. And then at the end of the month, you've completely exhausted your warm market. You go into the next month, you have this promotion, you're feeling good about it, but you're kind of like worn out. You're like, well, I'm just going to kind of like take my foot off the gas. Don't do that. Something that's absolutely vital, even in the times, like even during your harvest, you're like a signing machine. Make sure you're constantly developing new relationships. You don't want to exhaust your warm market without refilling that. You know what I mean? Like you should constantly be adding people to your market, constantly building relationships with new people. Start creating a new warm market while, you're at the point where you're comfortable messaging, a certain group of people. Make sure you're working on the relationships with like a whole nother group of people. When you really like put your blinders on to like your hundreds list and you're not adding to your hundreds list anymore, you're gonna run out of people to talk to. You're gonna run out of potentials. You're gonna be, 2 loyal customers away from a huge bonus. You're gonna be like, well, I don't have any potentials. Like that's why you constantly need to be like feeding the fire, constantly stoking it. If you're feeling discouraged too, I know it's like really nice to like have the group chats and everything where you can talk, and it's just not a real good idea to go into the group chats and start like venting all of your negative feelings and all that kind of stuff. It casts like you're putting that kind of energy out then like on the whole team. Go to your enroller, go to a sideline sister. That's totally fine. We are here to support you. I just wouldn't encourage you to like go into a group chat and like unload all your negative feelings and negative emotions. Talk to your enroller, talk to a sideline sister. The last thing you want to do is have like a new distributor that joined your team and they believe in you. That's why they chose you. And then they see, you saying all this negative stuff and it makes them kind of be like, oh, wait, maybe this isn't a good idea because it doesn't seem like she thinks it's a good idea and I joined her, So just keep that kind of stuff in mind. Definitely keep your pages positive. Just put positive energy out there. Be nice to people. I know it can be hard when somebody has something ignorant to say. Somebody makes an ignorant comment on a post. Somebody's hosting a post for you and one of their friends jumps on and just completely trashes MLMs. Don't let that bring out an ugly side of you. It's happened to all of us, but something I can promise you, the longer you do this and the more success you have, that kind of stuff stops. Nobody tells me that this doesn't work. How could they tell me that? Like I use the products. I've got a lot of customers who love the products. I'm a triple diamond. Nobody can tell me that like, oh, you're not going to make any money doing that. Like I completely retired from my full-time accounting job that I went to college for, to get that degree. I worked so hard to have that job. And literally, I guess it was less than 18 months into this business, I was able to retire. This is what I do full-time now. And this year, we're going to be able to retire my husband too. Like, that's insane to me. We're going to be a full-time family 2.5 years. Before the 3-year mark, he'll be retired. And it's like, so who's going to tell me that you can't make money doing this? And again, it didn't happen fast for me. It took time, but it is so worth it. We have about 10 more minutes. Does anybody have like a story of theirs that they want to share? Like, anybody have any questions that maybe we could answer for you to kind of help you get through, a rough time? Charles?
I'll jump on if nobody has anything, but I was going to wait and see if anybody else had anything first.
Looks like it's all you.
I just wanted to say, like, you guys both or all just heard from both Holly and Sam that they kind of started out slow. They kind of not necessarily weren't working hard, but they didn't like start off at this wildfire pace. I didn't really think I did, but apparently I started off at more of like a wildfire pace. So fast and sporadic or slow and steady, like, you're going to hit that point. You're going to hit that first wall that you have to get past and that first hurdle that you have to jump over. And that's where all of the consistency and all of the behind the scenes stuff becomes so important, because if you're doing that and you're in the habit, you're going to be at a point in your business where you're not going to consider quitting. Like, I've had some high highs and some really low lows in this business in only a year and a half that I've been in, and I've never once actually considered quitting. And that's because I've always been consistent, and I know what this business is to me. I know what it does for me, and I know what it's going to do for me. And that's something that's just, I think, so important in the day-to-day crap that you go through, and people being negative and people having, sorry, the dog's all up on my lap. People having all kinds of shit to say about your life and your decisions all day, every day. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely those people that it stings, and the people that just really get under your skin and they make you want to freak out. But like Holly said, like, your page is just a broad, like, that's your business. So you can't let those people get to you to the point where you're freaking out on them. Realize that at the end of the day, there's someone that's not going to pay your bills. Their opinion doesn't matter. If they've gotten you to that point, I unfriend them or block them. Like, I don't need that in my life. But what I'm rambling about is, like, just stay consistent with all the things you hear all the time, because we all go through highs and lows, and you just at some point have to kind of accept that this is a little bit of a roller coaster, and you're gonna go back up.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that pretty much all of the people that have been doing this for a while will completely agree with. This business has waves. Again, like, you're on fire sometimes, and then sometimes things are slow. Doesn't mean your business is over. That's just the way things work. I have had this theory ever since I joined. I've never had quitting as an option. It never was. I knew I joined because I wanted to be able to stay home with my son. I was 5 months pregnant at the time. We had built up a lifestyle that we could not afford for me to stay home. When we had gotten married, I have my college debt. We got married. That was expensive. We were 2 working people, had great jobs, so we decided to stock up our garage with 4-wheelers and lawnmowers and just all that kind of stuff. And it ended up with debt, which was fine. We were okay. But then having a baby come into the mix changed everything. I no longer saw my job as my passion. I wanted to be home with my son. So for me, the opportunity that this presented, there was no job that I could get as an accountant anywhere that was going to give me the opportunity that this business has. If you literally are one of those people who are questioning, should I be doing this? Should I not? Is this for me? Give yourself the gift of the next year. Promise yourself that I'm going to give it my all for the next year. And I promise you, in a year from now, if you do that, your life is going to be completely different. Completely different. And another huge benefit that this business has brought to me, and I know it's brought to Chelsea and Amber, we talk about this all the time, the personal development that we do. I'm a completely different person. I'm the same person, but the personal development end of this has just completely changed things for me. Even just little things, like getting into a fight with my husband. Now I have the ability to see different perspectives and all of that. that doesn't seem related to this business is completely related to this business, because I wouldn't have spent 10 minutes listening to a motivational speaker before I joined this company. I literally am a better person, like, all around. So, yeah, promise yourself that. Promise yourself the next year. And if you give it your all, you dump everything into it, and in a year from now, nothing at all has changed, then message me. and I'll say give it another year. No, but honestly, like, your life will be different, completely different. And this business is just such an amazing blessing. Again, think about the big picture. Think about where your life can be. Like, be a big dreamer, because you can have it. You can have anything you want when you work your business. It is absolutely crazy. It is like, I don't know, I get like chills thinking about the fact that, like, I'm a freaking triple diamond. Like, how did that happen? How did that happen to me when I struggled so hard just to hit Ruby? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now. Thank you so much to everybody who jumped on. Please, guys, let us know if you need us. We are here. Again, if you have anything you need to talk about, talk to your enroller, talk to one of the leaders. Like, we're here for everybody. And if you guys have any, Charlotte, you want to go ahead and talk? I see you have your hand up.
I didn't want to interrupt you, sorry. But
No.
I just wanted to say, like, with you and Sam sharing your struggles and how hard it's been for you guys, like, I think the people who are new and me, because I just joined in October, and it's like refreshing to hear that it wasn't easy and it was like hard. And even though you're at where you're at right now, like, it's just nice to hear that, like, it wasn't easy, that it's hard, but you got there and you put the work in. And it's like, it just, I don't know, it gives you that hope that, like, you know, if we keep doing the things that we're supposed to be doing, that it'll happen for us too. So I just want to say I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, good. Well, I'm definitely glad that was exactly, like, kind of what I wanted to show everybody, because I know that it's hard when you're seeing it. It's hard to relate that, like, everybody started at the same spot. Everybody's journey is different. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing that.
I think that's like my biggest takeaway. If you guys ever get the chance to go to one of our conferences or like one of our biggest events, every single person that you see up on the stage who shares their story is going to tell you the same thing. They all started in the very back of the room, just like we did. They all started at the very last row, sitting back there saying, someday I'm going to get up there. Someday that's going to be me, and someday I'm going to do it. My first conference in 2016, I sat in that very back row. I was one of the distributors. I was just one of everybody else. And I heard everybody's story and how much they were just like me when they started. And there's a big part of you that goes, yeah, right, they weren't like me. Like, they're just blowing smoke, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? They really are. Like, I started out like every single one of you, thousands of dollars in debt, didn't have $5 to my name, couldn't afford my auto ship, didn't know how I was going to pay for my website, had to turn my website off because my bank account was already in the negative. Like, I was there. And once you're there, when you first start, once you get past that point, you will never let yourself go back. And there are going to be walls, just like Betty was saying. You're going to hit your first wall. I hit my first wall hard. And that was when I dropped from Ruby down to executive and didn't know if I could do this anymore. That was my wall. And I got myself up. I climbed over that wall. And now look at me, guys. I'm a freaking presidential diamond. Like, I never imagined, and we're on Ambassador by summer. We're doing it. I never thought it was going to happen. I never thought I was going to be able to quit my job. I'm a full-time mom, guys. That's like my dream. I know a lot of people, like Chelsea never wants to quit her job, and that's on Chelsea, but she wants to pay off her house, and she's doing it while she's still working. So just get your dreams out there, set them, get ready, put them in front of you, because they're going to happen. You're going to leave the back of the room and you're going to be up front, and you're going to be the next person sitting here talking to your team of 50-some people. It's going to be you. Stand up, make it happen.
I have one more thing I need to add. And then I promise I'm letting everybody go. I'll make this quick. When I originally started this business, like, I had friends who like sold jewelry and friends who sold handbags, you know, like all that kind of stuff. I always was like super supportive of them. Like, even if I didn't want the stuff, like, I bought it anyway. I went to their parties because I was supportive. So when I joined, I had this like huge group of really close girlfriends. Like, amazing, you know, if they killed somebody, they'd call me type of friends. Like, they were that close. I thought, like, oh, this is going to be simple. Like, I already got, like, 15 people who are going to sign up right away. Not one. Not a single one of them supported me until I was successful. That is crazy. Like, I literally thought, like, no problem. But I'm telling you, you don't need it. You don't need to. We love, like, the dirt list thing. Contact those people first. Like, of course. If they say no, it doesn't mean you have no hope. I'm proof of that. And once you start having success, people think that, like, this is just something she's going through. Once you start having success, once you start having your customers, once you start having your own personal results, people start to be like, oh, okay, like, maybe this is a legit thing. So definitely keep that in mind. Even if not a single friend, single family member, anybody wants to buy from you or wants to join your team, means nothing. It's not, you know, sealing your fate. You can still be incredibly successful. On that note, I'm stopping. We're done. If anybody has anything, you know, that they wanted to talk about, then feel free to message us privately, message us in the chats. I will be posting this Zoom on our Diamond Tribe page either tonight or tomorrow. So if you had anything you wanted to add there, would love to see it in the threads. Would also love to hear from you guys what you'd like to hear more about. We do these Zooms to really keep everybody connected, but we really want to, like, help you guys with whatever you need. So let us know. Let Caitlin know, me, Sam, Chelsea, Amber, any of us, or just put it there on the page. All right, guys, thank you so much for jumping on. I really appreciate it. I hope everybody has a good night.